motherfucker. Money be green. Money feel like money. That shit look green to you?
Yeah, money might be green today. I'm feeling pretty confident about my bet this weekend. I'm talking about Brandon Figueroa and Mark Magsayo. I believe it's for the interim title as well. And this one going to be a real good one. Brandon Figueroa, a plus one. Well, actually, Brandon Figueroa is a minus 350 on the money line. Mark Magsayo is a plus 250. Bryan, who are you rolling with and why?
Interim featherweight title fight, by the way. WBC interim featherweight title, just to note that. And look, Mark Magsayo did win the featherweight title from Gary Russell, albeit Gary Russell had the injury, but he did win it no less. So since this fight got announced, I've kind of been leaning Brandon Figueroa the entire way, and it's kind of been, am I going to bet him on points? Am I going to bet him by knockout? I don't really see a knockout in this fight, even though both guys are going to trade. Both have heavy hands. Neither of them known for their defense. But in looking at this fight and sizing it up, I've been leaning Brandon Figueroa by decision, which you could actually find at plus odds. I'm going to pull this up right now. But Brandon Figueroa, he's really skilled. I feel like he's more skilled than Mark Magsayo. And maybe I'm holding the Gary Russell thing against Mark Magsayo because I felt like Gary Russell would have won that fight if he were healthy, but he did not. But ultimately, my pick is Brandon Figueroa on points. Minus 140-ish at DraftKings FanDuel at the time of this recording. We'll see where that's at about fight time. I don't think it's going to change much. And then by knockout, this is pretty tantalizing. Brandon Figueroa, if you want to bet him by knockout, plus 185. I think there can be a knockout in this fight, Shantelle, but I don't necessarily lean that way in terms of that being my favorite.
Yeah, and this is a really good fight stylistically. Figueroa, 23-1-1, 18 of those wins coming by way of knockout. So you know that also he does have power. Like Bryan mentioned, he's not the best defensively. I mean, he does get hit a lot. He's coming off that win over Carlos Castro, though. And then also he took an L against Cool Boy Steph, Stephen Fulton. That was a fight, though, that he lost by majority decision. And to be quite honest, it could have gone either way. I thought they would eventually run that one back. But this is a really interesting fight because Brandon Figueroa, volume puncher, pressure fire. He wants to get you on the inside. He likes to overwhelm his opponents. And the thing I love about him is he does great body work and he hits you everywhere. He's hitting you everywhere. He's a switch hitter and he has a sturdy chin. But like I mentioned, he gets hit a lot, which brings me over to Mark Magsayo, 24-1. 16 of those wins coming by way of knockout. Listen, Mark Magsayo definitely does have power. That one loss is Ray Vargas. That was a fight where Ray Vargas started off pretty strong, and Mark Magsayo didn't seem as comfortable against him. But then later on in that fight, Mark Magsayo ended up picking it up and getting into more of a rhythm. And the reason why he's always in this fight is the fact that he's got that puncher's chance. I talked about how sturdy Brandon Figueroa's chin was, but Mark Magsayo, I mean, he's a power puncher. He throws heavy shots. And if you want to bang on the inside, he'll bang with you on the inside. So I think that's what him and Brandon Figueroa are going to do in this fight. But I just think volume-wise, Brandon Figueroa is going to be landing a lot more punches than Mark Magsayo. And we kind of saw that against Ray Vargas, right? Because Ray Vargas was coming with that volume. So it's kind of like a similar type of fight, except for Brandon Figueroa, I believe, has more power than a guy like Ray Vargas. And also the one thing that you got to watch out for Mark Magsayo is nasty uppercut. My best punch from him is the left hook. And he has speed as well, so don't sleep on his speed. So I was going back and forth because Brandon Figueroa on the money line minus 350, Mark Magsayo a plus 250. So at one point I was like, I know Brandon Figueroa gets hit a lot. Do I take him to lose and take Mark Magsayo straight up on the money line? But I went over to FanDuel right now and it says method of victory, Brandon Figueroa points or decision is a plus 135. So there's a little bit of value there. All around, I think Brandon Figueroa is just a better fighter than Mark Magsayo. Mark Magsayo is going to have a puncher's chance in this one because he does have that power, Bryan. But I'm going to roll with Brandon Figueroa to win this one. I think all around he is the better fighter. I think volume-wise, he's going to body a guy like Mark Magsayo. So I'm going to take that plus 135. But because Mark Magsayo has a puncher's chance, and I like to sprinkle a little bit, Bryan. Mark Magsayo by KO or TKO is a plus 500. Now, I don't think that happens in this fight because, like I mentioned, Brandon Figueroa has a sturdy chin. but I might sprinkle on that just because a puncher's chance in boxing, we've seen it too many times. So you never know what's going to happen. But over here at the Mandatory, we want you to drop your slips before the bet starts, before the fight starts. So drop your slips. But most importantly, make sure to also leave some comments who you're going to roll with. You can see below the ways that you can connect with us as well on Twitter, IG, TikTok. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button.